Saule from Kazakhstan.
Hi, I'm Sakshi from India.
And we're international students at Ewha.
If you ask me why I came to Ewha, I have a simple answer. When one day I was browsing on the internet, I saw one of the tourist websites, and on the website there was the picture of Ewha campus. It was so beautiful and astonishing that I was so mesmerized by it, and I started researching about Ewha more. And it was around the time when I graduated from my high school, so I have decided to apply for Ewha, hoping I would get enrolled, and I did. Right now, I'm a proud Ewha student who enjoys student life and loves Ewha. I can say that the Ewha culture, the support other students give me, is like nothing else. I've never been more encouraged to do what I like. I've never been this supported before, and I just want everyone who's now researching for schools to consider Ewha very seriously, because I have never regretted my choice.
Okay, so I have always wanted to study abroad ever since I was in high school, and when I was in the 11th grade, I was very interested in Korean culture. So I came to Korea with my older sister for a week to look at universities, and that's when I first visited Ewha, and that's when I really fell in love with the campus and the vibes and the area surrounding it, and I decided that this is where I want to spend the next 4 years of my life, because I wanted more than to study in class. I wanted a very good university experience, and that's when I decided that I would apply for Ewha. So I went through the application process, and I was very fortunate to get in, and I decided that Ewha would be the top choice for me, even though I applied to other Korean universities, just because of how beautiful the campus is, how welcoming the students are, and how I felt a sense of community amongst the students here, especially in the Division of International Studies, and that was a big contributing factor to my decision in coming to Ewha.
I never considered staying at home and studying in my home country, Kazakhstan, because I am an adventurous person and I always wanted to explore the world more, and I thought seeking my degree overseas is the only option for me. If I have to compare universities in Kazakhstan and Ewha, I would say that Ewha has a lot of benefits that are personally beneficial for me. For example, I have an opportunity to learn a foreign language, which is Korean. I can practice it in this environment. I can make many friends who are Koreans, and moreover, I can meet so many people with different backgrounds coming from different countries, whereas in Kazakhstan, I would have probably been surrounded by people of my own nationality, which is not bad. It's just that I wanted to, kind of explore more cultures and meet more people who are different to me. I think that is one of the reasons why I came to Korea, as well as I think Ewha gave me a lot of opportunities as a female student to, execute myself as a leader, to get this different positions in many projects that I wouldn't be able to get if I was back home. And I think Ewha has this focus on female leadership, and Ewha encourages our students to, express themselves freely in any direction they want, in any projects, in any businesses, in anything they start. I think it's great. I think I would have not felt that motivated and supported back home if I had to study in Kazakhstan. Yeah.
So going to school in Korea is definitely very different from going to school in India, which is my home country. In India, everything is very academics based, and everything is very focused on the classes that you take and your professors and your exams and your assignments. But coming to school in Korea is very different, because it's a whole experience in and of itself. It's more than about just attending classes. It's about clubs and group activities and meeting new friends from different places, and also different kinds of summer programs and winter programs. For example, I was very fortunate enough to do the Ewha Harvard Summer School program, which is an opportunity I wouldn't have never gotten in my home country, because it's not really an important thing. In India, it's more academic focused, but over here, it's more about building a community and having these different experiences with people from all over the world. And I think that's really interesting, because your university life should be more than about just the classes that you attend and the things that you learn. It should be about preparing you for going out into the real world and the experiences that you have in university that prepare you for that. And coming to university in Korea has definitely helped me in that as compared to going to university in my home country in India. I do have a lot of friends who do go to university in India, and for a lot of them, college is just about going to school, attending classes, and coming back home. But for me in Korea, it's extremely different. It's about going to classes, it's about going out with friends, it's about seeing new people, it's about exploring new ideas and new things. I also really like the fact that I'm able to study and attend classes from a multitude of disciplines, because in India I would never have that option. I would have to stick to one major and attend classes of that major, but at Ewha I'm able to attend classes that aren't even of my major and that I just find interesting. And I think that's a great experience for me to just expand my horizons and broaden my scope of knowledge.
So if you have to ask me what's my favorite memory of Ewha, I would say that my favorite part of the day when we had offline classes was coming to the class in the International Education Building where our department is, and meeting and greeting every single friend that I have there. It was like, I don't know, with your coffee in your hand, you just come to the classroom and you see so many friends saying hi to you, talking about what we were up to, just sharing the news with each other. And the atmosphere and the environment was so warm and friendly. It actually warms my heart whenever I remember about it. And it was pre-pandemic, and despite the fact that we cannot do it right now, I still have a chance to meet my friends in my Zoom classes and, talk to them or have discussions involving professors as well. I think that's a great way to handle this critical situation, and I just look forward to meeting my friends again when we will share many smiles and great memories before we graduate.
My favorite memory at Ewha is from the summer school program that I did in summer 2019. During the summer school program, I attended language classes from a professor from Harvard, and in that class I was the only student from Ewha, whereas all the other students were American students. One of the days our professor took us out on a field trip where we explored the campus of Ewha, and we took a bus from the back gate and went to Gwanghamun, and we had like this cultural exploration where we were allowed to speak in Korean and kind of test out our knowledge. And that has honestly been my favorite memory in Ewha, because it's just a perfect combination of all the things that I love about the school. It's about the professors who care about teaching you not just textbook knowledge, but also teaching you about practical application of things that you learn. It's about the friends that you make here and the experiences that you have with them. And honestly, I look back on that and it's a very fond memory, because our professor took us out and she took us around campus and she showed us all the places in Ewha to all the students who weren't familiar with the campus. And it was just a new way of looking at things, and it was just a great experience to have with my professor, who was more like a peer than someone who I should be afraid of or someone who is kind of inaccessible. And that's another aspect that I really like about Ewha, how accessible the professors are, how welcoming and how kind they are, and how familiar they make you feel. And yes, so that would be my favorite memory at Ewha.
I have 2 tips for newcoming students of Ewha. Firstly, I would highly encourage you to join as many clubs as you want, because it is a great way to obtain network, to make many friends, to share hobbies and go with someone for lunch. I think because as a foreigner, it may be a bit hard to make friends right away due to language barrier. However, when you're in a club, you learn a new language by merely just talking about your everyday life. You make long-lasting friends who are always there to support you and who have same hobbies as you are, have the same things you're interested in. And clubs is just, like a sisterhood where you can rely on each other and, share any extracurricular activity outside of the academic work. The second tip would be hang out in student union building. I think student union building is very unique because it is exclusively for student clubs and student kind of like environment space where they are not disturbed and they can do whatever they want. They can sleep, they can eat, they can talk and chat there. I think during my second year, I spent most of the time there with my friends whenever we wanted to meet up and talk and just have a lunch together. I think the building is very underestimated, so if you're a newcoming student, please visit it and support all the shops who are located there.
A tip that I would give to all new students coming to Ewha would be to go out and explore the campus. Don't be afraid because of its large size, and sometimes it might seem intimidating because of all the mountains, but honestly this campus is one of the most beautiful places here, and you should really go out and see how interesting it is and see all the cool things that they have on campus here, which is quite unusual for a university. And you should also go out and explore the areas around campus because there's just so much to see and so much to do within the Ewha area itself. You honestly don't even have to leave this area for like the first few months of your college life because you will be spending so much time exploring it with your friends. And as long as you're looking around campus, as long as you're finding secret shortcuts to get to class faster, or you're finding little nooks that are hidden away and are just so beautiful that you can't even imagine you're on a college campus right now, then you will be enjoying your fullest experience at Ewha as an Ewha student because there's just so much to see. I have been here for 3 years and I have explored maybe just 30% of the campus, and there's so much that I haven't seen yet. And I think that it's very interesting that just being on your university campus can be such an enriching experience in and of itself. Apart from the fact that you are in such an interesting city to live in, Ewha's campus is just absolutely gorgeous. And I know a lot of people would say that, oh, go out and explore the city and go out and explore Saule. But the first thing that you should honestly do is explore this campus itself, because you are going to find some of your most favorite places in the entire city just hidden away on this campus.
To Ewha, you won't regret it.